versus runowski stars. As you all know, Walsh versus runowski takes place tomorrow night, Friday, September 20th, and the 3 Arena will be available live on UFC Fight Pass, with the first bout beginning at 5:30 p.m. BST. And headlining the event, as you all know, will be the WBC Continental America Super Welterweight title bout between the current champion Callum Walsh and Przemyslaw runowski. And one of the biggest boxing cards is brought to you by Riyadh Season in Wembley on Saturday night, as Anthony Joshua challenges Daniel Dubois for the IBF World Heavyweight title this Saturday. You can learn more on riyadhseasoncard.com. And first off, please join me in welcoming my guests to the stage. We can't start the party without Carty, one of the top heavyweight prospects in the world. Give it up for Thomas Carty. All right, Thomas, this is your third time fighting here at the 3 Arena, and it's the site of maybe your best performance yet against Jay McFarland. With the world's eyes on the heavyweight division this weekend, what can people expect out of you here tonight?
So far, this is my third fight, and I've 2 knockouts so far. This one will be my best. That's a fact. That's a fact. Next year, will be my best knockout by far.
All right, next to the stage, the 2020 Olympian will be taking on Cronin for the Celtic Super Middleweight title, ladies and gentlemen, Emmet Brennan. Well, Emmet, it seems like over the last couple of years, you've just been checking off these bucket list fights, these bucket list items. Going to the Olympics, fighting in New York City, now fighting here at the 3 Arena. It seems like a good time to just keep on rolling.
Yeah, look, the last few years I've just backed myself. I keep on getting rewarded time after time. This is my second time fighting in the 3 Arena, second time fighting for the Celtic title, so I'm living the dream, but I'm going to make the most of it tomorrow night.
Brennan versus Cronin will be setting the table for our main event, which of course features this man, one of the best super welterweights in the world today, King Callum Walsh. Well, Callum, so much has happened for you already in your 11th fight career, so many big moments, already ranked in the top 10 in the world by 2 of the major sanctioning bodies. Would you describe tomorrow night as the biggest night of your career?
Yeah, no, definitely. Tomorrow night, coming home to fight is definitely the biggest night of my career. And this opponent, it's the toughest opponent in my career so far. And I'm looking forward to going in there, putting on a show for all these people that show up.
Let's welcome in one of the men behind Callum's career, and a man who's promoted some of the biggest stars of this generation, and the president of 360 Promotions, Mr. Tom Loeffler. Well, Tom, as I mentioned, you've promoted in some of the biggest venues in the world, some of the biggest stars in the world of this generation, really. What has your experience been thus far bringing Callum Walsh here to Dublin?
Well, I'll tell you what, first of all, I want to thank all the fans for coming out. Give yourselves an applause. This is going to be a tremendous show tomorrow night. Without Dana's vision and his perseverance and his drive, when we first started this project, building boxing on UFC Fight Pass, this is really the pinnacle of what he wanted to accomplish, bringing Callum in a homecoming here to Dublin. So we're really looking forward to it tomorrow night.
We mentioned Dana, so let's bring him out. Lastly, he's the CEO and president of the UFC. Put your hands together for Dana White. All right, Dana, you're back to your roots, so to speak, back here in the boxing game, and you've been a backer and supporter of Callum Walsh for some time now. What is it that drew you to Callum Walsh and compelled you to get involved on the level that you are?
Yeah, I don't even remember how we all met or how this all started, but yeah, listen, I'm a huge Freddie Roach fan from way back when, and you know, I saw Freddie working with him, and at this point in Freddie's career, you know, if he's working with a guy, then he absolutely believes in him, and I believe in Freddie. Then I met Tom, love the matchmaking that these guys do, and then you meet Callum, and how do you not like Callum? I like his fighting style, I like that he's willing to fight anybody, and I like that he likes to try to finish people. So that's how it all sort of came together.
Can't wait for the event tomorrow night, and we're ready to open it up to questions from the media first, then we'll get to fans. For the fans, we'll keep it to questions and answers. First and foremost, if our guests have time, if time allows afterwards, we'll field requests for autographs and pictures. We'll keep it to the Q&A right now. And why don't we start over here on the right?
Hey guys, Ben looking very energized. Quick question for you. 3,715 days ago, Conor McGregor beat Diego Brandao here. When will the UFC return to Dublin, and when will see Conor next in the cage?
You know, it's funny, we were talking about that before we left the hotel today. You know, this arena right here, that fight was one of the greatest events I've ever been to. When he won, everybody threw their beer up in the air, they were going crazy. It rained beer for like 3 minutes in the arena. And it was just so badass. It was an incredible night, incredible event, and that was the beginning of the rise of Conor. The answer to your question is soon. We'll be back here soon.
2025? Guaranteed? 2025?
Big. Big. Possible.
And Tom, obviously you looked after some greats in the boxing realm. You looked after Triple G, the Klitschko brothers. With Callum Walsh so young in his career, how far do you think this guy can go?
I really think the sky's the limit with Callum. He's only 23 years old, 11-0 with 9 knockouts. He's already headlined MSG Theatre twice. He's headlining now the 3 Arena out here in Dublin. So Boston, at Boston College there at the Adonis Arena. So with someone like Freddie Roach in this corner, a Hall of Fame trainer, there's really no limit to what he can accomplish.
Perfect, thank you. And then Colin, obviously young lad from Riversdale Boxing Club in County Cork. You're now sitting up on stage with 2 of the best promoters in the game. You have Freddie Roach in your corner. What would a young Callum Walsh think of where you are right now?
You know, it's crazy. I never could have even imagined myself sitting here. You know, even when I went over to Freddie Roach, I had no intention of even turning pro. You know, and you know, I didn't. I tried to go to the Olympics and I didn't. You know, and that's why I believe everything happens for a reason. You know, if I didn't make that change and turn pro, I wouldn't be sitting here right now. And I'm looking forward to putting on a big show tomorrow night for everyone.
Can't wait. Emmet, obviously you're a corner not to be missed, and obviously you're again in an all-Irish clash this weekend. Can't wait to see it. Do you love that Irish on Irish violence?
Yeah, look, you're fighting in the 3 Arena. You want to be in a competitive fight, and there's no point in coming here and fighting your journeyman and someone you're definitely going to beat. So for me, I always bring the best out when I'm fighting 50-50 fights, when I'm fighting against Irish fights. So yeah, I'm just happy to be on this stage in a competitive fight, what promises to be one of the fighter nights.
And then finally, Thomas Carty, you have a real thirst for violence. Thomas, do we think we'll get this going very early tomorrow night?
Yeah, absolutely. We had a couple of pullouts in the run up to this, a couple of different opponents, but fair play to your man. He's agreed, he showed up, he's still here, he hasn't gone anywhere, so it's looking like we're going to get a bit of violence tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to a short night.
Thanks very much. Well, plenty of all Irish violence tomorrow night. 2 Celtic title fights on the card tomorrow night. Let's go over here to our left.
So my first question is for Callum. Callum, obviously your first fight back on home soil. How does it feel to be headlining the 3 Arena tomorrow night?
Yeah, it feels unbelievable. You know, like Tom said, I'm after headlining MSG, I headlined out in Boston, I've been fighting in LA, you know, and now to come back here to the Irish people is unbelievable. You know, I was getting a taste for it in New York, we were getting closer and closer to that Irish crowd, and because of Dana White, we're sitting here now, and I can't wait. You know, Friday night, tomorrow night is going to be a good one.
And my second question is for Dana. Do you think tomorrow night will just be a one and done event for Callum in Ireland, or do you think you're going to come back?
I've only done one and done. The spear. we'll definitely be back.
Perfect. Thank you very much.
We'll all have our passports ready to get back here. Let's move back over to the right.
Well, Keane here from Dublin Callum Walsh Thomas. You've called an knockout. Do you think that's a necessity to keep you on the trajectory that you're on?
In necessity, I don't think so, but everybody comes to see knockouts. That's what everybody pays. They take the money to see exciting fights and see somebody get knocked out. So, is it a necessity? Probably not. Is it an essential for me? Absolutely.
Secondly, forward, Dana, this is a boxing event on UFC Fight Pass. How big do you think boxing on UFC Fight Pass can get? We obviously have two heavyweight juggernauts tomorrow. Is there a fight like that in the future?
Yeah, obviously, I've always been into boxing, and yeah, you're going to see a lot more of this upcoming here in the future. Working on a lot of things. Hey, who's got my phone? Give me my phone real quick. I want to let you guys know this too. You know, I was telling the fighters earlier, back there when we did the fighter meeting, but I just want to let you guys know this too. And it's great to make money when you're fighting, but it's also very important to do incredible things with lots of people watching. This fight tomorrow night is widely distributed. This thing's going to be on Rogers Sportnet in Canada, Fox Sports in Mexico, ESPN Latam, it's in Brazil, Australia, New Zealand on ESPN, all the Middle East and North Africa, Russia, Czech Republic. It's on in Malaysia, the Philippines, Taiwan, Kazakhstan, Japan, India, China, and I have to give a big thanks to Frank and George Warren. They gave up their exclusivity on TNT for this to air on TNT in the UK. The Warrens are absolute class acts for giving these young fighters the opportunity to fight on a platform like this. The scumbag Bob Arum and his son Todd the Buff didn't do the same. So they're pieces of shit, and I want to thank the Warrens. You guys are classy. I really appreciate it.
Speaking as a resident Canadian, I think it might be the first time that boxing's ever been on Rogers Sportsnet, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and it's everywhere. This thing is distributed all over the world. So this is such a huge platform and such a huge opportunity for all these young fighters tomorrow night.
So let's go back over to the left over here.
What's up, Dana? Matt Meehan here from OrangeBoxing.com. What did you see in Callum that brought you back to boxing, and why against Callum?
Well, a lot of things. First of all, like I said earlier, Freddie Roach, calm. I like the way he runs his business. I like the way Callum fights. I like him personally as a human being, and it just all sort of happened. In my life, everything that's happened has just happened for a reason. Everything just sort of comes together, as did this, and here we are today. And then, listen, I ain't gonna lie, the whole Irish thing I love too. So, yeah, it was the perfect mix.
Question at Emmet. What's up? Obviously, Matt Meehan from OrangeBoxing.com. A two-way champion, possibly in 4 fights. What's your plan at that stage? You can reveal to the crowd. Was it just focus on Friday night?
Oh, look, I'm 100% confident that I'm winning on Friday night. As I said, it's not an easy task. It's a tough fight ahead of me, but 100% I'm confident. Looking past that, I want to focus most of my career from here on in New York. Brennan and sell lots of tickets, so that's probably what we're going to be looking at past this week.
Callum, what's up? Thank you so much. Callum, how do you handle carrying an event like this? It's such a huge event in your hometown. How does it finally feel to be back fighting in front of everyone here with the Irish crowd?
Yeah, fighting's just what I do. I've been boxing since I was 6 years old. This is just what I do. I show up and fight. It doesn't matter to me whether I was fighting out there on the road or whether I'm fighting in front of all these people. Obviously, it's better to get paid for it, and I'm looking forward to Friday night.
Just one quick question for Conlan. Can we see 360 promotions back again in Dublin sometime in 2025?
Absolutely, like Dana said, we love the Irish thing. When we're building Callum over in the States, got 11 fights now, but this really feels like a homecoming for him with the Irish fans. and we'll be back in 2025.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. Back over here to the right.
Hey, question for Dana. I've noticed a couple of things, like when we got our credentials, this was a Zuffa boxing was involved. Obviously you're working with 360. You just mentioned the work with the Warrens, not working with Bob Arum. What are your plans in boxing, and how much will 30 shape influence us?
I'm HBO. I guess that's the way I would look at it. I'm going to be, he is the promoter, his matchmakers make the fights, and obviously bringing a fight to Ireland is very expensive. It's expensive to leave the country and do fights like this. So I'll always figure out a way to pay for it. I guess that's the best way I can describe it.
You plan to be involved in boxing more going forward?
Yeah.
So just quickly, obviously the quarterfinals some people are interested in. Is the winner of Chandler Oliveira the opponent, or are you looking at maybe a new opponent?
Is the winner of who?
Chandler Oliveira.
It's going to determine when Connor comes back who the opponent is. Whenever Connor is ready and he comes back, he hit me up last night when he heard that I was here, and he's in New York right now, and he is training. So.
Last one. Do you have a prediction for Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? I think Mike was saying recently he's having a little more injury issues.
When is that?
November 15th.
Yeah. I don't know. You know what I hope. I'm hoping what you're all hoping.
That doesn't happen?
Does it happen?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. That remains to be seen, but I'm hoping what we're all hoping.
Give it to me.
All right, back over here on the left.
Alan, what was your first reaction when Dana and Tom offered you a headline at the Tree Arena?
Yeah, no, I always knew it was going to happen at some stage. Maybe Tom didn't think it was going to happen right now, but when Dana White wants something, it's going to happen, and I'm just very thankful for Dana White, for making it happen, and it's unbelievable, I couldn't have imagined it happening right now, I'm 23, and everybody's saying, oh, we'll get there, but Dana White wanted it, and we're here now, so it's the best thing I know.
Crosby, one of Thompson's teammates, had an unfortunate loss there a few weeks ago. Do you think he'll be back in our lockdown soon?
That for me?
Yeah. Aoife Crosby, are we going to see him back soon?
What was the name?
Aoife Crosby.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Over here on the right.
Firstly, welcome back to Ireland.
Thank you, brother.
Secondly, obviously you started out in boxing, you had this meteoric rise with the UFC, you're looking to come back into boxing, threw a few shots there at Bob Arum, a few other people. Boxing is something you have a focus on, but it looks like Callum is really the marquee star that you're trying to build. What is it about Callum that has captured your imagination?
Well, what happens is when you come into a market like this, and now I'm starting to see all these other fighters, what I would love to do is, Tom has done a great, when I first went to one of Tom's shows, I loved the matchmaking, the fights were great. It reminded me of UFC fights, but boxing. And I want to come into markets like this, find new talent, and build them up from the ground up, just like we did with the UFC. When we bought the UFC, we bought those 3 letters, an old wooden octagon, and we had like 10 contracts. And look where it is today. I would love to use that same blueprint and build this thing from the ground up with guys like the guys that are sitting on the stage right now. And like I was saying earlier, tomorrow is such a big deal for these guys that are fighting on this card. This isn't just a fight that people in the 3 Arena are going to see. This fight's going to be distributed all over the world. Tomorrow night is their night to go out and show the whole world who they are and have people talking about them on Monday morning. And Callum, I mean, obviously he's headlining the card, so this is, and in his home country, which he's wanted for so long, and here we are. Tomorrow night's a big night for everybody on the card, including the 2 little amateur girls that are, it's a big night for everybody tomorrow night. So it's one of those nights when these guys got to really eat, drink, sleep, and come in here tomorrow and perform. I hope I answered your question.
And over to Callum. Callum, obviously you left Cork You built up this phenomenal career, you've come back, you're now 11-0, you've spent some time in Cork. What are the people in Cork saying to you on your homecoming?
You know, hopefully they're all here tomorrow night. You know, hopefully the Rebels come up and show the support. I know there's a couple down the back there. But hopefully we have more tomorrow. You know, I know I'm from Cork, I'm fighting in Dublin, you know, but this is the perfect arena for it, you know, so I hope that they'll all go up and show their support.
Thanks a lot. I think every fighter that we've talked to this week has expressed how grateful they are for this exposure. It's a massive night for Irish boxing. So we're back over here in the West.
Diana, I'm running around Dublin like a headless chicken trying to find you. I heard you're in a hotel at the Red Cow, so I had to jog from Talbot Street. So if I can come over and get the picture now, I'll come up and get out your foot.
No carty, no party!
Shout out to Thomas Carty, the photographer of the year. All right, back over here on the right.
Lots of tickets tonight. I lose a lot of questions asked on potential alternative to obviously Ireland. A lot of players came in the past and give us all promises. We're coming with build shows, with build fighters. We're a crucial part for Irish boxing. We just obviously Kelly Hart on the double Olympic gold medalist. Can you give us promises? Can you give us guarantees on a year basis to help us build the next generation of fighters going through?
So, you said a lot of promoters make promises but don't do what is it? They don't do what?
They come to the big stars, they don't come to build fighters up. You know, the team with Katie Taylor, the team with Michael Coleman, the big fights, but they don't come and bring the grassroots level fighters.
Listen, I mean, that's what I do. That's what I've done since the beginning of my career. It's the way that it has to be done. There will be some big announcements soon. And let me tell you, if you know anything about me and you go back and look at anything that I ever said, I never say anything that I don't do. Ever. I've never said that. And we've been taking the whole boxing thing around for a long time. You've never heard me commit and say, I'm in. I'm in.
I'm finally for Callum. Your Irish homecoming, it's not in Cork. Is the next plan now you're trying to get Tom and Gala to go to Cork?
Yeah, definitely. No, next year is the 30-year anniversary for Steve Collins, when Freddie went down and they won a title down there, so it'll be good to get to Cork next year, hopefully. We'll see what Dana says, we'll see what he says.
All right, we've got about 5 minutes left, so let's try to keep it to one question per person. We want to get to as many people as possible. We'll go back over here.
Diana, you're going down the boxing route now. Should the other promoters like Eddie Hearn and Frank Warren, should they be worried?
No. Those two guys definitely shouldn't worry. They're two guys that I respect very much and I have great relationships with. You know, this isn't one of those, you have scumbags like Bob Arum and Todd LaBeouf from Top Rank. But there are lots of good guys that I like doing business with in the business. Bob Arum and Todd LaBeouf, I do not.
Thanks a lot.
Dana, I was going to ask you if we could get a snap with you.
What's that? Yes.
Can I come around there?
Yeah, come right down here. I'll grab you in a minute. As soon as we're done, I'll get you.
All right, next question over here.
Oh man, what's happening?
Danny, Logan right here when I don't forget me now.
I didn't catch that.
He's a future world champion, that's what he wants to tell you.
Oh, he's a future world champ?
Yeah, he's flying out team right now, loud and well.
How many fights he got?
500. We have an opponent from there.
Right, he's here now. I think he's 60 now.
How many fights you got?
Don't know.
What's your name?
Logan.
How old are you?
8.
Nice to meet you, buddy. Keep training. All right.
Would you like to find your next prospect? All right, over here on the right.
My name's Gary Williams. He was having a bomb fight and I'm just trying to grab the opportunity with both hands. And then he always said, the sweet kid doesn't get any sweets. So when I'm coming back to UFC Dublin, I'm doing about 5 week progression. It's the #1 amateur in Ireland and the UK. So when I'm coming back to the UFC Dublin card, you need a flyweight. I'd love to remember the name, yeah? Any questions for the three lads, yeah? All these are somewhat interested in MMA. Who do you think makes it MMA between the three lads? Or who has the better grappling between the trees?
You know who has the best grappling, yeah. I actually train with Carty. He's one of my kids, I coach him striking. He's very, very good. But I tap him now.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
2 questions for Thomas. The nicest ACI balls in Ireland and best electrolyte.
That's a shameless look. Obviously, nice SAA balls has to be 10-10, yeah? And obviously, first electrolytes, #1 in the country. Jump in the world. We might get that in as an investor very soon.
That's what everyone does after fights in Dublin, right? They go get SI balls. All right, over here on the right.
Hey now, I'm a massive fan of the UFC and I was wondering if I could get a picture with you.
Yes, sir. Come on down here.
All right, we got time for 2 more questions. So let's go back over here on the left.
Hey lads, Ian from Angela Boxing. Just a quick question there to Callum. The lads have obviously invested heavily in you, as can be seen by the main events tomorrow. How's the pressure? Are you looking forward to announcing yourself worldwide tomorrow?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I'm not feeling any pressure. You know, I feel like I'm born to fight and fight just what I do. You know, I've been doing it since I was 6 years old. I don't feel the pressure. I feel excited and I feel like I will enjoy it tomorrow night. And after I get the win, I'll enjoy the crowd and go for a pint.
All right, last question, and over here on the right.
What's up, Dan? I was just wondering, who's the pound-for-pound GOAT at the moment?
Who's the pound-for-pound GOAT?
Yeah.
You know this, man. You know this.
Can I get a photo with you afterwards?
What's that?
A photo, please. A photo.
He wants a picture.
Come on down.
Most popular question.
Andrew, picture? Come on down.
All right.
Let's not even waste time.
All right, that's going to do it. Thank you so much for joining us here. Thank you to all my amazing guests. Be sure to join us tomorrow at 3 Arena for all the action. Doors are open at 4:30. Limited tickets are still available from Ticketmaster.ie. And remember to check out RiyadhSeasonCard.com for all the information on how to watch Anthony Joshua take on